Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Gainer Gossip. I am Pluto, and with me, as always, is.
Hey guys, Jenny here.
Do you want to handle the introduction there, babe, since it's your guest today?
Yeah, of course. This is my amazing friend, and he is an amazing actor, and his name is Matthew, and he's doing amazing stuff. So, Matthew, introduce yourself.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. I sound like Thor. Hello everyone. Uh, my name is Matthew Bryant Jr. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I'm an actor and a voiceover artist, and you can say I do a little bit of singing here and there because I have like a little nice little music choir background. So yes, you can say I'm a singer as well, and I'm just here to talk to you guys. I'm excited and spread joy around the world too because I love being kind to other people. So yeah.
And Matthew is an amazing singer. I forgot to mention that earlier too to you, Pluto, as well. Matthew's a really good singer too. So, I'll
And
add
it's
some.
been it's been a minute too. It's been a while since I've sung for a minute. It's like my singing voice. I feel like, when I left high school, when I graduated high school, I feel like I retired my singing voice and like mostly like it's like saying hello to an old friend, because I
Yeah.
grew up singing when I was, 10 years old. I used to love singing. I'm a thespian as well. I love theater. I love theater so much. And really I think about that sometimes doing my acting career. I think about going back to the theater. And then there are some actors out there who usually like are going back to the theater, and I'm starting to notice that it's kind of like a pattern to the actors are going
Yeah.
back to the theater.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm like you too. Like I love musical theater and I love, just regular like just like singing in general and like music is a big passion of mine as well. Because
Yeah.
my grandma got me really into it like when I was a kid, how you were saying you sang when you were like 10. It's so
Mhm.
funny. I didn't know that because my grandma got me really into music too. And then I also have the choir background from school. So it's cool that I didn't even know that we've been like really good friends, but I didn't know we had that in common. So that's really cool to
Right,
learn.
right.
All right, babe. I'm gonna start asking Matthew some questions. So, Matthew, what got you into acting?
Oh wow, it's been what got me into acting is, well, first off, I didn't have no acting experience at all. uh I feel like I'm still kind of a beginner, well, still of a learner. I'm still kind of still learning a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
um I got into acting when I was in when I was in high school. Um, I went to Huffman High School, got into acting. My very first acting class, and I didn't know what the heck acting was, didn't know what it could do and what it was about. And I did this monologue in front of my entire class. And then first of all, I'm still a little shy. I'm a little bit of a shy person, but I think kind of acting helped me a little bit of
yeah,
getting out of that. Um, I did like a nice little monologue. Me and these guys in my class, we wrote it and we did it and I performed it. And then after I got done performing, my my acting teacher looked at me like, whoa, like holy moly, like, and he asked the class, like, he was like, did y'all feel that? Like, yeah, and like, he was like, did you guys feel that? And it was like, yeah, I felt that and stuff. And then I didn't even know I had that in me. And then first,
yeah,
I love drama. I love drama. That's like kind of like my favorite genre. And so yeah, I did like it was kind of a dramatic scene, and then everybody was like, "Oh my God, you were like amazing," and stuff like that. And then probably like a day after, he offered me a role in a school play. I played yeah, and then what's funny about it is like the choir room and the theater room was kind of like together. And so
yeah,
he stopped me while I was going to the theater room. He stopped me. He was like, "Hey, I want you to play this character." And then he was like, "I want you to play Uncle Phil." And I was like, I'm like, "Who am I?" I'm like, "Who's Uncle Phil?" And he had to be a little bit more I would say specific. Yeah, he had to be a little more
yeah.
specific because I didn't know what the heck he was talking about. And then he was like Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Now I feel like a dummy right now because I watched the show. I'm like, I did not know who that was.
Yeah, but yeah. There's
And
o- there's only
stuff.
there's only one Uncle
Yeah.
Phil, man. You should have got that right away.
That is
um,
amazing. I love that show too. So,
and
that's
then
incredible.
and I was like, whoa, like I like it just came, and it came out of the blue too. And
Yeah,
then I wasn't really ready for that. And again, I'm a shy person. So we go to his acting his room, and he gives me the script and stuff, and we study it, and we go to the stage, and I memorized it and stuff like that. And then it was curtain call, and when I tell you, I'm just gonna be honest here, I was shitting bricks when it was time for curtain call. I was nervous as crap because usually when people offer me opportunities like that, I usually just don't show up because I'm a shy person. Like I'm a little baby. But then there was like a part of me, there's like a part of me that was saying, no, don't do this. You're gonna make a complete fool of yourself. Don't do it. Do not do it because you'll make a complete fool of yourself. And then no, you already know people bully you in this school. So if you do this, people are gonna make big fun of you. But then there was something, another part of me was saying, no, get your ass out there and perform because this is
Yeah.
something that you want to do. Like go out there and do it. And then I feel like an invisible donkey just kicked me on the stage, like, oh crap.
Like, this is your
And
moment,
and
Matthew.
like, right, it was like, this is my moment. And then when they were playing the music, doing the introduction and stuff, and when those curtains opened up, I could see at the corner of my eye, the whole school was watching. I was like, oh, like, what the am I doing? Like, what am I doing? Like, I'm just, my brain was going, like, just going in circles. But then I kind of collected myself, and I was in the moment, and I delivered the lines, did the scene, and the scene was, when the episode when Will's father came into town, and
Hmm.
he wanted to come back into his life and stuff like that, and Uncle
Oh,
Phil
that's a really
confronts
good one.
him. Yeah, and then again it was a dramatic scene, and I did it. And then after that, I kind of reflected on that, and then sometimes I actually kind of like people cheering me on. I didn't get like the audience clap that I wanted and stuff.
Yeah.
But then, when I got off stage, when I got off the stage, there were some people who actually came to me saying, "Dude, you're gonna be in movies and TV shows one day,"
That's amazing.
because that performance you put on was really good. It was really amazing. And then also my dad and my both of my grandparents were there to support me, and that made me feel a lot more comfortable. See, because I'm used to like performing in front of my family, because those are the people who I've always been around and seen me
Yeah.
sing and do stuff like that. So seeing them there made me feel a lot more better and made me want to do it a lot more now.
Yeah, and I love that because I feel like when you did that too, you have to be proud of yourself because that's not something you were used to doing, like putting yourself out there and actually like, as you said, like how they acted at the school and stuff, you took that step because you knew like I got to do this for myself. And I bet you felt so good afterwards because you knew that you took that pivotal moment that you needed to step next into what you wanted to do with acting. And I think that's a huge thing. It's like a lot of people think that us actors are just like all the time outgoing and like not shy. But a lot of actors, like big actors in Hollywood and actors like you and I get shy too. Like right before I
Mm,
do something, it's like I get nervous too. And then I'm telling myself, like, oh, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. And then once you're out there, it's like, it hits you. Like, I'm doing this.
yeah,
I'm gonna push myself to do this because that's what I want to do. But us actors
yeah,
get super shy. And I love that you talked about that because I think like a lot of people have this preconceived notion, that actors are like, oh, we're conceited, or you know what I mean? Like we're
right, yeah,
know-it-alls because we want to like be on screen. But it's like we're actually really kind-hearted people and we get shy, like sometimes more than people that aren't actors.
right.
So I love that you talked about that. And I love that like your family was there for you to support that big moment because that was like a huge milestone for you stepping into the, next thing about what you wanted to do with your career. So that's
Mm,
really cool. That's
yeah.
awesome, dude. I love Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, so that's one of my favorite things. So you think like after you had that performance that kind of solidified like, hey, I want to be an actor, like after you did that.
Well, it's kind of like another part of the story, because I was kind of like thinking, I actually thought that acting was kind of like a hobby. It was gonna be like a hobby
Yeah.
for me. I thought it was kind of gonna be like a one-time thing, but it came back around as well.
Yeah.
My choir teacher, she wanted to do this, and I just forgot, it's Black History Month, like this, February is Black History Month.
Yeah.
So she wanted to do like a Black History Month musical with a lot of music, like a lot of music, movies and stuff. So she wanted to do like the
Nice.
Temptations, she wanted to do like the Wiz, and
Oh, that's awesome.
Dream Girls, and I think not the Sopranos, but it's another one. I do not know the name of
The
it.
Supremes,
I
maybe?
think it's some, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's what it's called, because she had like the little um thing on there that had, auditions and stuff. And then I was like, should I do this? Like, should I
Yeah.
do it? And I went for it. So I went to the audition. It was like an after school thing. I auditioned for The Wiz, for The Lion, and I
Nice.
I get goosebumps when I talk about this, because it was like a nice little moment for me. I sung the little song from The Wiz, and I sung it, and we did the little lines and stuff, and I had so much fun. It was my like first time auditioning. I was kind of a little nervous,
Yeah,
and
of
yeah,
course.
and I had a little fun. And after that, she told me I can go home and stuff. And again, the one thing I learned about an actor is, like, when you go to an audition and when you're done, do not tell the casting director or something like that, saying, "Oh, I got the part," because you messed up. So
Yes.
do not do that, because if you do that, you gonna put yourself in a position you do not want to be in.
I'm not gonna
And
lie, I've done that once before
yeah,
too myself. So
right. And so
we learn.
after, I know, yeah, very weird. And then after that, this was the most craziest thing that ever happened. Um, it was kind of like it was kind of like good news and bad news. So I
Yeah.
came into the choir room, and she called me in her office. And again, it was like kind of like good news and bad news. The good news was I got the part to play the lion.
That's
The
awesome.
then the bad news was she had to cancel it because she couldn't get enough people to audition for it.
Oh. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Oh
and then
man.
I kind of like felt like, oh well, there goes my acting life. So I just
Yeah.
I kind of like it feel like I kind of was like leaving acting alone, because
Yeah.
if stuff like that was gonna happen to me in the future, I didn't want to be a part of it, because I don't,
Hmm.
it was gonna be hard for me.
And
But
it is
then,
hard. I
yeah,
agree.
and
It
then
is.
but don't lose hope right now, because when we came back from summer break, when we came back from summer vacation, we things changed. We had a new choir director. No, not new choir director, a new theater director, and she was doing like a Christmas program, and it involved The Wizard of Oz, which is The Wiz.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And one time I was in, and I remember she came and got me out of Spanish class for this. And she came and got me. She told my teacher, "Hey, can I borrow Matthew for a minute?" And she walked me down into the choir room. She explained to me what was going on. And I didn't know what the heck was going on. I was like, what the heck is going on? Am I in trouble? Because I was looking, I was a good kid. I ain't throw no milk at nobody. I ain't throw no food cart or food tray at nobody. I don't mean, I'm a good kid. So
Right.
I mean, why I gotta get in trouble with the principal, Because I'm a
Right.
good kid.
You're like, what is
So
going on?
like what's like going on, man? Like, do I need to like call the police or something? Like, come on now.
Right.
And so when I get to the choir room, but she explains to me, like, so you remember when I was trying to do the little Black History program? And I was like, yeah. And she was okay, but this time we're doing a Christmas program, and it does involve the Wizard of Oz. So she basically it's kind of like a callback thing,
Yeah.
like you get a callback, but this was a callback like kind of like after spring break, I mean, not after spring break, but after like summer vacation.
Yeah.
And so the new theater director came in, and when she saw me, her face lit up like Christmas. Like she was like, "Oh my God, I love him! Like, I love him!" And then
Oh, I love that.
when I know, right, me too, and I get goosebumps a lot talking
Yeah.
about it. And when she when she looked at me, she told me to do the song again. I did my song, and she said, and I will never forget this moment. It was like the biggest moment, and it made me so happy to this day. She looked at me. She was like, "Matthew, I need you to be my lion. Like,
Oh,
I need you to be my lion." And then my heart was just like I was like,
it bursting out of your
"Oh," I'm
chest.
like just bursting out with happiness and stuff. And we did like a small little rehearsal, and character work and stuff like that. And it was so much fun. It was so much fun. And then one time I was like kind of like off the rail a little bit.
Yeah.
like, kind of like getting off the rail, be like, oh, like I don't have to do this and stuff like that. And then she kind of like pulled me to the side a little bit. She was like, Matthew, I need you to be on your A game. And then
Yeah.
I kind of saw that, because when I think about it now, I was thinking about like I'm the only lion. Like she can't find nobody else. Like she can't find nobody else in this school who can do it like better than me. And so
Yeah.
that's why she was kind of like she was kind of she was on me like white on rice. So she was like, don't be playing around. I need you on your A game. I need you this and da 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 and stuff like that. So and I was like, okay, I got it. And then rehearsals, I enjoyed rehearsals so much. And we had two night openings that day. It was like
Nice.
it was one day for the kids to see kids. Then look here, I'm just gonna be honest. Those kids did not want to be there. They just be sometimes they'd be doing that just to get out of class
Hmm.
Right.
and stuff like that. They just be doing it to get out of class. So they weren't really kind of interested in it, because acting was kind of like not everybody's cup of tea, and
Yeah.
stuff.
I love
But
that
but
you did that. I do that
like
too. The
not
whole
everybody's
Hmm.
tea
cup
cup.
of tea. So but the after the kids saw and stuff like that, and then my parents, my whole family really did, was my dad, my sister, and my grandfather and my aunt. They came as well. and
Yeah.
um and then for the last night, it was so much fun. The adults, now they were really there for it, because
Hmm.
Yeah. They wanted to see it.
yes, they wanted to see that. They really
Yeah.
wanted to see that. And I love it so much. I had so much fun. Um, I'll never forget that day. And then that's kind of like when I finally said to myself, I want to be an actor. Like
I love that because that
I want to be an
story.
actor. Because like
Yeah.
after that moment right there, after, because I feel like I left my mark on that stage after,
Yeah.
because first of all, I was a senior in high school, so this was kind of like be like a one-time thing. So I just had to like go
Yeah.
out, like just spend the rest of my senior days doing this play and working on it and stuff until it's time to
Hmm.
graduate. And
Right.
then that's when the pandemic came, just ruined everything. And
Yeah.
we went into quarantine, and it was just horrible. When I tell you my mental health, it was like it was on the brink. I was just like, oh my God, like
I understand. I was the same.
when can we go back outside? Like I don't.
Yeah.
And then I what's sorry, when I think
No,
about
you're
this,
fine.
when
You
I
always
call
make
my
me laugh.
grandma,
Arthur.
when I call my grandma about the pandemic, I'd be like, Grandma, I want to go back outside. Like, can we go back outside? But like,
Yeah.
she the one she hated going outside, because she had to go to the grocery store and stuff like that. She was like, I hate wearing these masks. I hate
Right.
it. It was just terrible. It was. It was just so
It
terrible.
it definitely was. And like it's so crazy that it's been like 3 years, even longer now from the pandemic. And
Yes.
it's so wild to think that like it seems like no time has happened, but then it seems like a lot of time, if that makes sense. Like it seems like how has it been 3 years? You know what I mean? How has that
Right.
time went by so fast? But it's just a weird feeling. But like I agree with you because when I was going through COVID too, like that whole time. It was really hard, especially with like the acting, because it's like you can't really put your acting stuff out there because
Right.
no places were really doing anything. And it was a very hard time, I feel like, for us entertainers, because we couldn't really go out and do what we wanted to do, which is why TikTok, I kind of got into that for acting. That's
Mhm.
like when I first got into it. Because at first I was even nervous to do that. I was like, no, I was like, I'm not gonna do acting on TikTok. What if people don't like my videos? Like, what if
Hmm.
they're stupid?
Right.
I was shy about it. But it's like I'm grateful. That's the only thing I will say. I'm grateful for the pandemic because I got on TikTok, do acting, and met all
Mhm.
you guys and followed
Yeah.
my dreams. But like other than that, the pandemic was not fun.
I was gonna say the pandemic pretty much pushed me into tabletop and stuff for all my tabletop streaming and stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's why I started looking into it, because I was bored. We didn't have anything to do. Like I
Yeah,
was
that's
playing it a little bit before COVID. Like I started like just like messing around with that West March. I joined with Gus and them. Like I was just kind of casually playing, but then like COVID hit
yeah.
like 2 months later. I was like, I guess I'll just play this and nothing else because there's nothing else to do.
Well, and that's
So
what's so
yeah.
funny. Well, and sorry, babe, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that's what's so funny about Justin is like Matthew. He never, how we talk about like being shy and stuff. He never
Mhm.
wanted to do anything on camera. Like just like he never wanted to. Like I would be like, make TikToks with me or do videos with me. And just he never wanted to do it. And then he got into tabletop, and now he's on camera all the time, like streaming,
Yeah.
doing this podcast. And it's so funny. I was like, you said you were never gonna be on camera. Now you live on the camera.
Right.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
so funny
definitely
how
a
that
flip
happens.
for sure.
It
Yeah,
kind of
it
like
is.
motivated him to get on camera.
Yeah. And now like you do so many things on camera. That's what's so funny.
It was amazing.
Yeah. Matthew, I wanted to ask too, like, how do you get, because I love this question. I love when people ask me this question. I'm sure you'll love it too. But how do you get into character when you're acting? Like, what puts you into that character perspective?
Oh man, it's everybody has their own process and
Yeah.
their own method and their own technique and stuff. So like, I know you say you wanted me to talk about this.
Yeah.
When I start out doing scene bot, I was trying out all different types of, mostly like trying to like memorize my lines and stuff. All of like it's kind of like when you're like on a computer trying out different type of sequences and stuff
Yeah.
like that. All I think some of those difficulties, not difficulties, but some of those types of sequences were just bull crap. They didn't work for me. So I had to try out some different new ones. And so now the one that I use today is, when I read my lines, I find my character's mindset,
Yeah.
because you want to know, what type of, what's the tension and stuff, or like, or maybe like what's the story behind, what's going on with this character and stuff. And it's
Yeah.
mostly like the mindset, because I enjoy like trying to find the character's attitude or something like that, and the mindset, and mostly kind of like the body language, because when I went to my acting class, I was taught this technique. It's called the Krotowski. I know that you don't know what that is, but you can look it up, called Krotowski technique. And it talks about, what part of the body your character leads with. Like they'll lead with their hands, they'll lead with their head, or their feet or anything. And we did like this little oh my god, Jenna, you're gonna laugh at this. So
I'm excited to hear it.
we did like a little exercise. We did an exercise
Mhm.
to see what type of animal. Sorry. Like, the thing about
Make me laugh,
to like
Matthew.
to talk about which part of the, like, which animal, we form ourselves into the
Oh, that's
body.
cool.
Mm.
And it was very cool and very fun. I was like, wow, this is very fun. And
Yeah, that's really
my
cool.
animal that I my animal that I formed myself into was an owl. And
Oh my God, owls are my
owls are your
favorite.
favorite animal. So I was like, oh my god, Jen is gonna love this.
That
And
is amazing.
and even my acting coach, when we got done doing the exercise, she pointed at me. She was like, Matthew, your animal was an owl, was it? I was like, yeah. I'm like, how did you know?
Owls
I
are
was
the
like,
best.
I'm an owl. Like I didn't know. And the reason why I chose an owl, because what if I play a character that gives out a lot of wisdom,
Yeah.
and that's what I see in an owl. You see an owl, you see them coming for wisdom, even though they fly and eat rats and stuff off the ground.
Yeah.
But hey, they give you wisdom vibes. They give you like, oh, your path is this way, not this,
Yeah, definitely.
or like, don't go backwards, go forward, 'cause type of stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Cause like they're a very like mystic creature and they give off that knowledge. Like
Yeah.
just you look at an owl and you think like, I mean, like I know, like for instance, the owl in Winnie the Pooh, obviously wears glasses and stuff, but like, but like, but like, I think that's why they made that character an owl, because you're right, they do give off a very like wisdom feeling to them, which I really like. And I don't know that technique, but that sounds amazing. But I do know something similar because my acting class, we did something they didn't name it anything, so it could be the same thing. They just kind of, teacher kind of
Mm,
went with it. But I agree with you 100%. Acting, and I'm so happy you said that because acting is also about like the motions you like how you use your hands, how you use your eyes, how you like use your body, like stepping
right.
into that character. And that's why like I like to watch like shows and movies and rewatch the scenes because I like to get an idea of like how the character did that in that scene. Because you're right, it's all about the mindset. Like if you can't get into the mindset of the character, you can't really play it because you're not able to feel those emotions and those feelings, like how they were
Yeah,
feeling in that moment. So
Mm-hmm.
I
exactly.
love that. I do the same thing as you. That's so crazy. Like when I get into a character, I do it off the mindset too. So I love
Mhm.
that. And I already know the answer to this question. I feel like I do at least. But what is your dream role to play? I'm gonna say it's in a Marvel movie, but also you love Game of Thrones, so
Oh, well, my God, I have so many dream roles, and yes, I've seen TV shows, but my mostly dream role, and yes, it is probably in a Marvel movie, but like my kind of like a second dream role is to play like like a hard badass detective,
that's cool.
like play like a detective who has like a hard or emotional past, and like he's kind of like trying to
Yeah.
run away like trying to kind of like run away from it, and he's drinking himself to death with booze and stuff like that, and he just like he doesn't give a crap about anybody but himself. But then kind of
Yeah.
like when something happens to him, maybe something that calls him back to his past. Maybe he has to fix it or whatever, and it kind of like makes him open up to people who still cares for him and still loves him.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I love that. Matthew, that I love how detailed that was because that sounds like an exciting role to play, honestly. Like it just gives me the vibes of like when you said like the detective thing, it gives me the vibes of like Clue or like a murder mystery type show, like you could like
Mhm.
play in. And like I don't know if you saw this movie, but like what's that called? Like Death on the Nile, like that movie with like the whole murder
Oh
mystery thing.
yes, I seen that.
Yeah,
I
the
seen that movie.
Yeah.
Benoit Blanc movies are amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah. And Glass Onion, I know you saw that as
Oh my
well.
God, I love that. I love that. I love that movie. I may watch it again. I may because that movie was so good. That
It
whole
was.
that whole cast was just amazing. I love it. And Jill Monet, she killed that role,
Hmm.
Oh
and
yeah.
it was just so amazing. And then you got my boy Batista in the
Yes.
background. Been like
Yeah.
that's just amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like that movie was probably my favorite movie of last year, like hands down, like not even close.
Honestly,
Right.
yeah, it was definitely one of mine too. And it's what I love about Netflix now is they're having like big movies on Netflix. Like, because usually,
Mhm.
and before, and that's another thing that's weird. Before the pandemic, we would see movies on Netflix, but they would be like more like independent films or not as big. But
Right.
now they have like huge actors on Netflix, which is super cool because you don't have to pay to go to the movies
I
to see
mean,
an
that's probably
amazing.
because of COVID. I mean, everything's like there's so much more like feature films that might have been in the movie
Yeah,
theaters are also now on
Yeah.
streaming services, and not just Netflix. There's HBO Max and
yeah.
there's Hulu and there's
Oh yeah,
even
yeah.
Tubi now is making a reinsurgence. Like there's so many fucking apps out there now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like I love that movie because I'm like you, Matthew. I love like the whole drama era and like murder mystery type movies. I think it would be so fun to play in something like that. Like if you
And I
got to
love
play,
mysteries.
oh yeah, me too. And if you
I
got to,
love them.
If I was in one of
they're
those
so
movies,
good.
I would be like, even if I'm the killer, don't tell me. I want to find out what everyone else does.
Right.
Oh,
Don't tell me who the killer is. I want to see if I can figure it out.
oh, that would be cool though. And I feel like they probably do that. That way, like, if you think about it, right? Like, for instance, when I watched Gossip Girl, Dan was Gossip Girl the whole time, but they didn't tell the actor Penn until like the very last
Hmm.
episode. Because then, if you were to tell them, sooner, it may change how they play the character. But I feel like for stuff like that, they can't really tell who the killer is or what's going on until like the end, maybe, of filming.
Yeah,
Because
they probably do the reveal scene last, but also the little
Mhm.
scenes where they like go back and show, oh, so this happened, this happened, this happened when you weren't looking. That actually revealed who the killer was. Like
Yeah.
how last night at the end they showed all these little scenes, like as him and that Janelle Monae were working behind the scenes
And
the whole
I
time that we didn't know about.
Mhm.
And that was awesome how they put that all together, that movie,
Hmm.
and showed those scenes, the things that we didn't see, and then
Right.
went back. Like, that's something that really intrigued me. I was like, this is really freaking cool. And that's something, and I love this, Matthew. My dream role is to be on a Scream movie and play the killer in a Scream.
Oh, you would kill it. You would definitely kill it. You would
Oh,
definitely kill
thank you. Oh my God. Well, you would kill your role too, playing the jaded detective. I love that.
it.
That's awesome idea though. That is incredible. Um, what is your favorite thing about acting? Ooh, that's a fun question.
Ooh, favorite fun thing.
There's so many
I
things
would
I feel like.
Yeah, so many. It was so many because when you get a lot of experience, you'd be like, oh my God, I did this and stuff like that. And I'm like, dang, like what's my favorite thing?
Mm-hmm.
Um, what I love about it is I love playing a character that tells a really good story. Because I
Hmm.
love I love I love stories, and I love telling stories. And then that's how come I love drama so much. I love drama so much. I grew up watching dramas
Me
as
too.
a young, I kind of, it was like kind of, I was maybe 13 years old, and I watched a lot of dramas like, Game of Thrones, House of Dragons, and oh my god, Walking Dead. I love Walking Dead. I'm a big Walking Dead fan.
I
And I
never
still can't
seen
be.
it. Don't kill me.
Oh no, you're fine. But it's amazing. I look back at that, how long I was watching Walking Dead. I watched Walking Dead since, yeah, 13 years old. I'm like, wow. I was 13 when I started watching, and then it ended this, I think, last year, or maybe this year. I forgot. But it ended, and but they have some more, they have kind of like, they have some spin-offs going on.
Yeah.
But you should watch it. It's very good, and I know you don't, do you like zombies? I don't know if you like
Uh,
zombies.
No, she does not like zombies at all.
so not really, no, but I do watch some like I saw Warm Bodies with Nicholas Hoult, and that was a good zombie movie. And
Oh,
what
I
was this?
love that
That
one.
had nothing to do with it being a zombie movie, and 100% being Nicholas Hoult was in the movie. Don't even lie.
No, that's not
100%. That's all you cared about. Get out of here.
that's not
She'll watch
why.
any movie if a certain actor or actress in it. She'll don't even give a fuck what the movie is then.
I do that sometimes. So we all have our favorite actors and actresses, that we like.
We
And
all do.
Matthew kind of knows this probably about me, but like I love rom-coms and I love romance movies. Like I love like a good like rom-com and drama. I love drama too. So it's like if it's something like that, I'm really gonna like it. And that's why I think I like Warm Bodies, because it wasn't focused like solely on the zombies. It was more focused on the love story, which is probably why I
Right.
liked it.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I
you and Lainey will be a really good, because I know she loves rom coms too. Because I see her do a lot of rom
yeah.
com skits, and I think you two will be an amazing, and like in a rom com movie. I can see you playing her best friend, and
Oh,
she
that'd be
finds
so
out.
amazing.
Yeah, and now to be like, oh, look at my girls, like they doing a rom com together, like just. I'll be the first one buying the movie ticket to go see it. I'm like, look at move. I gotta see my girls. Get out my way. I got my popcorn. Get out my way.
Oh my gosh, Matthew, I love you. Thank you. I'm gonna be the first to see your detective movie. I'll be like, gotta see my bestie Matthew in this movie. I'm gonna be with my popcorn, have a big drink, ready to go.
Large soda for me, please.
Yes. Exactly. But no, rom-coms are so like I agree with you. Like I love drama too, because I love comedy. Don't get me wrong. Like comedy's so fun. But also, like that's
Mm.
something also I wanted to ask you too. That's not one of the questions I have planned, but I always go off topic. It's harder for me to play comedy than it is drama, because I feel like with drama, I can get more into the character, more the emotional. Is it hard for you to do comedy? Because I feel like I do comedy, but like I feel like I'm better at drama, if that makes sense.
And yeah, you know what? And I had this thought, because I was getting ready to say before you said that. My grandma, when I talked to her about my acting stuff, uh, I always tell her, like, what, I like to do like do drama, but my grandma, she always sees me do comedy, because I'm a little small. I'm a little comedic, because I made both of y'all laugh, so y'all can tell I can do a
Yeah,
little bit
you're
of
hilarious.
I can do a little bit of comedy here and there. And I just love drama, because it's hard for me to decide which one I want to do, because I love drama and I
Yeah.
love comedy. I love making a few people laugh, and again, like I made you two laugh and stuff. And um but I think, oh man, that's to me, that's kind of like a hard question, to be honest with you.
It is. It is hard.
I
Because
love I love comedy. I love it so
yeah.
much. Coming from a kid who watched a lot of comedy shows, like a lot of comedy shows, like, oh my god, I cannot think of neither one. Mostly like Disney Channel ones, like really Disney
Mm.
Channel comedies, like That's
Yeah.
So Raven, Sweet Life of Zach and Cody,
Love all
uh
those. Yeah.
Good Luck Charlie, um and what else, and even the new That's So Raven that's going on, that the one
Yeah.
that we brought back.
Did you watch
And
Victorious too?
oh, to be honest, no, now my sister, she loves that show.
Yeah,
She loves
I
that
think
show.
Victorious is a little newer than the ones that he listed from Disney. Like if you're talking about like around
Yeah.
that time, it'd probably be more like All That and Keenan and Kel and
Yeah.
stuff like that were all
Kenan
Oh,
back
Kel
oh
is
then.
my, oh
great.
my God, my dad loves. I think my dad, he introduced me to Keenan Kel, and when my dad introduced me to Keenan Kel, I fell in love with the with everything about Keenan Kel and all that and stuff, and like that those type of shows just had me crying on the on the floor.
That's what's so funny
Yeah,
too,
I
because my
mean,
dad actually introduced me to Kenan and Kel. Like when it was
Right.
out, like I never saw it, and then he introduced me to it.
yeah, I mean,
And he was watching
all
it.
that just kept spinning out shows to the spinned out freaking Keenan and Kel, spinned out the Amanda Show, and then the Amanda Show spinned out Drake and Josh. Like those shows were just coming and coming and coming out that cast
Yeah,
of people. Like there were so many good people and all
yeah.
that.
And like with the Disney shows too, I agree with you. Like I love the show That's So Raven. That's one of my favorite shows. I've always really loved that show. And I just think that Raven Simone is so like comedic. Like she
Yeah.
just always makes you laugh, you know? So
Yes.
it's like when I look at people like that, I'm like, that's something I want to grow with. Like I'm already good at drama, but like I'm a little about comedy. But I want to get like really good at comedy and be able to like, you know what I mean? Like be like
Mm.
in a comedy show sometime too. Cause I'm like you, I love it all. Like, and I want to be in a horror movie, as you already know. I want to be the
Yeah,
killer.
I think the roles that fit you best, the one I see you do best in are definitely either horror or like that Regina George type character, just that like
I'm
total
not a
head.
bitchy
But you
person.
do so good at playing it, which is crazy. Like you just got head bitch on lock, so you just slip into that so easily.
Well, thank you. I guess I'll do that then.
Yeah, watch instead of a rom com, you and Lainey are gonna cast as where Lainey's the cute little new girl, and you're the head bitch on this high school bothering her.
Oh my god. We actually talked about that before. That's what's so funny. And Matthew would just be like the best friend.
Yeah, I'll just be the best one. Like, hey yo.
That'd be funny if you were like friends with both of us in like the movie. Like I was bitchy, but me and Lainey's characters didn't like each other, and then you're friends with both of us, and you're like trying to like,
And then it'd be kind of like there'll be like a little connection, being like I'm good with her, and
right.
then the next thing you know, you two meet each other, and then I find out that you guys hate each other's guts, and I'm like, oh,
Yes.
like this some bull. I'm like, what did y'all get me into?
See, we got a movie in the making. We're just gonna
Right,
create it,
exactly.
make it ourselves, pitch it to the studio.
Right.
That's what we're gonna do.
Come on, just come over here. Come find us.
Right. Come give us these roles. It's gonna be the next
Right.
Netflix hit. That's what's gonna happen. Or box office. Hey, we're not going for Netflix. We're going for the main box office. It's gonna
Yes.
be
Ooh, hey, man, put it out there.
Yes, manifestation. This is a real this question here is a really good question, because I feel like it'll help a lot of people by talking about this. Like, how do you deal with the hate? Because obviously with all the love, there always comes the hate. Sadly, there's haters out there, and
So
they're not fun. But how do you deal with it?
how I deal with the hate? Easy. Don't talk to them.
Amen. I love that.
Don't
I love
talk
that
to them.
answer.
Cause look here, if I'm in like in the best of good mood, and you
Mhm.
come over here with me with your issues and your BS, I don't know. I don't want nothing to do with you. You know, if you're gonna be
Mhm.
hating on
Yeah.
me for no reason, because this is the one thing. And this is when I was in my acting class. We had this coach, this mindset coach in the on the Zoom meeting, and I asked her a question. You know, I was like, hey, how do you deal with the toxicity and the hate? And she was like, Matthew, that's a really good question. And the one thing she said is, you don't need to worry about that. You just really don't need to worry about that, because they are probably whoever they are to you, they're probably going through something in their life that they have not dealt with. So right now, they're just going to use you as an emotional punching bag just to make themselves feel good. And I
Yeah.
and I think about that, like why? Like why do I have to be the emotional punching bag? Whatever it is you're going through, I'm sorry, but beating on me beating on me with a freaking broomstick, it's not gonna help you. Because I don't know what you're going through, but I would say is that I'm gonna pray for you, and I wish you nothing but healingness and happiness. But going around showing hate to somebody, you don't even know them, and you don't know what they're going through. You don't know how hard they work for this and how hard they have come for this moment for you to just come in and be like, oh, you ain't gonna be this. You think you all that in a bag of potato chips and stuff like that.
Right.
Mhm.
And yeah, so just I don't talk to them. I
Yeah.
don't, as long as they don't say nothing to me, I'm not gonna say nothing to you. But again, smile. we all we all leave with kindness. And
I
like,
love
look
that
here,
smile.
I'm pretty sure our mamas and mostly our grandmas teach us this. If you don't got nothing to say nice, don't say nothing at all.
Yeah, it's so funny you say that because my grandma literally taught me that as a
My
kid.
mama,
Yeah.
my mom and both of my grandmas. We're mostly both of my grandmas say, if you don't want to say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all. And that's as simple
Mm-hmm.
as that. But people, they
Yeah.
just want to they just want to do whatever the voices in their head tell them, like, yeah, go over there and say that girl ugly, and or say
Yeah.
he ain't gonna do this and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you're right. And like the people like that, they don't like themselves, like you said, or they have issues going on. And instead of dealing with their own issues and trying to better themselves and love themselves, they
They
do
bring it
that.
on you.
Yeah. And it's sad because this is me personally. I know it's you too, Matthew. I can never go on something and just like hate on somebody or be mean to somebody. It's not in my nature. It's
Right.
not in my heart. I want people to succeed. So if somebody's doing really well, I'm going to be happy for them. But sadly, there's people out there like, say if me and you are doing well, or videos are getting likes or whatever, they're going to
Mhm.
be jealous of that because they're not trying to do anything. Then they're not happy with themselves. So they're going to try to bring us down, but they don't know what we're going through. Like just because we post out videos doesn't mean we're not going through mental health stuff, doesn't mean that we're not going through struggles. But people like that, and I saw a quote earlier and I agree with it fully. It's like the most judgmental people are the people that like don't know themselves. They don't know who they are. And that's why they're
Right.
hating on us and other people, because they'll pick out anything about you. Like they'll say, oh, she got a big forehead or this and this and this, whatever.
Right.
Because they just want to talk shit at the end of the day. They just want to bring you
Exactly.
down.
Right.
And like you said, you can't acknowledge it because when you acknowledge it, they love that. They feed off of that. Like if you were to
Yeah.
acknowledge it and argue with them, like, oh, I'm making them upset. Let me type on my or not my camera. Let me type on my keyboard, more comments, these trolls. But I bet you half these people would never say this stuff in person because they wouldn't have the guts to do it. So they think they can hide behind the computer and social media.
Right.
And
And then, oh, I'm sorry.
oh no,
And,
go ahead.
and then I was going to say is that it's those type of people on TikTok and it mostly be on social media. It's the ones that don't like to show their faces. Like,
It's always that.
it's the ones that be showing hate, who don't have no profile picture. They just have something to
Yes.
hide their identity because they don't want to be called out on their bull crap. It doesn't matter if you hide your face. We're still going to be like, okay, you can hate all you want, but I'm gonna still do
Yeah.
what I love to do.
Exactly. And you're right. It's always like those kind of accounts that will spread the hate that I've noticed the most too. They're like trolls. And also like, in person, like people like that kind of hate too, like from not hate, but like judgment from family or, fake friends or whatever. It's like
Mhm.
those toxic people also like I've cut out in my life some toxic people because it's like
Me
they might
too.
not be hating on what you're they may not be telling you they're hating on what you're doing, but they're not supporting you or they're putting it down or making you question yourself or just being negative. And
Yeah,
it's
you
like,
can tell that they're not supporting you from a mile away.
exactly. And it's like,
And I'm that person. I can tell when this person is trying to like make me mad, trying to bring me down, or trying to get
mhm,
under my skin. And if you're just like trying to, if you're just trying to bring this toxicity energy to me, I don't want nothing to do with you. And I'm
right.
just gonna kind of like just leave you in your corner, and I'll be over here in my corner doing what I gotta do and living my best life and stuff.
And
Yeah,
the
for
reason
sure.
they exactly, and the reason they do that though is because they're not happy with themselves. Like, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day,
Yeah.
like people with a passion, I feel like if more people focused on like what they don't like about themselves and tried to fix it and like actually help themselves and get a passion, like I don't know, be a doctor, be a pilot, be whatever you want to be, like just find
Right.
a passion, they'd be so much happier in life than just hating on people. But some
Right.
people just choose to stay in that, their own world and just
And,
hate. So
and me and my dad, we talk about before we go to the next question. Like me and my dad, we
yeah.
talk about this. Like some people who hate, they just don't have anything else to do with their life. They just be
Yeah.
like, oh, my life is so miserable. All right, I'm just gonna get my phone and just
Right.
put a tweet out and just be like, oh, this one is ugly, she ugly, and da 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 da.
Mhm.
Like why? Like why you gotta do that? Like what
Right.
do you what do you what do you gain from that? Like tell me, like what do you gain for that? Like you are out of pocket for that. Like what do you gain from that?
Right. Yeah. And like the saddest thing about all of it is there's some people that aren't as strong as you or and I, and there it really does affect them mentally to the point where they may give up on what they love. And that's what's sad is that these haters can hurt some people. So I
Mm.
like your advice that you gave to the audience, like ignore them, don't focus on that, don't acknowledge them, because their opinion doesn't matter. It really
Right.
doesn't. And that's going to help a lot of people to keep pursuing it. Cause I've seen people in the past, like, be like, they get hate. So then they're like, I'm going to stop doing what I love. And it breaks my heart because I'm like, how dare you, random hater behind your keyboard, try to ruin someone else's dream? Like that really
Right.
bothers me. But yeah, I love your answer to that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love your answer to that. What advice do you have for people that want to pursue acting? You're
This is
like,
my
hey.
this is the question I've been waiting for. I love this question.
Okay, I'm
Ah,
glad.
you know, I share this advice a lot, and I'm gonna keep sharing it into the day I leave this earth. I have people on my TikTok. I have a few people. When they be seeing my acting stuff. Some people they'll DM me, or they'll even comment on my videos. Saying, do you have any advice for actor like me or anything? How do I get into it and stuff like that? And my advice will always be the same. It may change a little bit over time, but
Yeah.
I will always say is that you do not ever ever give up.
Yes.
You just
Amen.
don't. Yeah, air high five.
Yeah. I love
Yeah, you just
that.
yeah, and I say it a lot because I say don't give up because I've experienced, like, going back to the little toxic hate. I have people in my life who actually try to, like, kind of like talk me out of my career,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna name them, but
Yeah, of course.
I told them that I wanted to be an actor, and they said, well, you can be an actor, but you have to do something else to support your family and stuff like that. And I just kind of like be like, you're basically saying just throw my dream away, because this is a dream of mine that I've been wanting for so long, and I
Yeah.
expect you kind of like to support me. And so that's what I live off. I just don't ever give up.
Yeah.
And again, with the haters, don't listen to what anybody has to say, because their words don't matter. You just have to remember who you are as a person, and who you are as an artist and as an actor. And just remember, you got to stay true to yourself. As long as you stick to your truth, you will get to places. So just block out the negativity, and block out anything that tries to get in your way of following your passion, and
Hmm.
you will get there. You will go some places if you just block out the negativity. And next thing is that always be yourself.
Yeah.
Always be your beautiful gay, bisexual self. Just be yourself. Just always
Yeah.
be who you want to be. Step into your greatness, step into your moment, and just let your heart shine. Just go crazy. I don't care what you want to do. Just do it. And if it makes you happy, just do the damn thing. Just do it, and just forget about what other people got to say about you. and
Yeah.
and always, what else is, always love yourself too. Self-love is very, I'm starting to take a lot more taking care of, showing myself a lot more love and stuff, self-care and
Yeah.
all. And yeah, and just yeah. So that'll be my advice, is to mostly just don't give up. Because
Yeah.
if this is something you want to do in your career, if this is something you want to pursue, then just do it. Just go for it.
Yeah, and I love that because, like, for me, like, I love that you said don't give up, because that's my attitude, like, the past couple years. Like, that's how I feel. I'm not giving up. I want to do what I want to do. But I did go through a low point, and I've talked about this before, so I'm fine with sharing it, to the world,
Mhm.
whoever watches this. But I did go through a low point when I was part of, like, I'm not going to name the agency, but I used to be part of a really toxic agency here in Ohio.
Mm.
And like I did a convention with them, and we went out to LA and stuff. And like she basically told me, like, I'm not going to pitch you to this agent or this and this because you don't have blonde hair, you don't look like this, and you're not skinny enough, and you're not the type of look they would look for. And dude, because this was coming from like an agent, like an actual agency, I felt like I wasn't gonna make, like, it felt like I couldn't be an actor, because like if they're telling me this at the time, I was at that time, I wouldn't feel like that now, But at the time when I didn't give myself enough self-love, I was like, it really hurt me, it really broke me down, and it made me quit acting for a couple years, and I was focused on music. And then I was like, when it came around to posting content on TikTok, that's why I was so scared, because I was like, well, my agency told me I got to look like this girl, I got to have blonde hair, I got to dye my hair blonde, I got to look a certain way and all this. And it was all bullshit, because every actor looks different. Like
Right.
everybody's different. And I realized like they were toxic to a lot of other people too, and they killed a lot of other people's dreams with acting. And it's really sad, because I'm glad getting back into TikTok, I put myself out there. I got signed to another agency in Ohio that's not toxic now. But that, like, going through that, dude, it took me like 2 or 3 years just to like get through wanting to do acting again. And I even remember I told Justin, I was like, I think I want to start making acting skits on TikTok. And he was like, but wait. He's like, you do music, because he never knew I loved acting before he met me. He's like, you don't act. And I explained the situation to him, like, yes, I used to act. It's just I went through a really hard time mentally, and I stopped doing it. And now I'm just like, when I told them that, now I'm just like, it just put a whole shift in perspective. Like when I told them that, I told Justin that, I was like, I'm not going to let them control me anymore, this agency, because I'm not signed with them. And like, the lady, she picked her favorites. That's what it was. It was all about favoritism, like people that had the more money, people that she thought looked better. But I'm like, we all look different. We're all beautiful the way we are. Shape, sizes, hair color, whatever,
Mhm.
And like, then I'm glad I got back into it, because I felt like when I wasn't doing it, I was losing a piece of myself, And now I don't care what part of my French y'all watching this, but I don't care what the hell anyone says. I'm not giving up on acting. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. So
Amen. Preach.
Matthew's like, preach.
Preach. Take us to church. Take us to church.
Yeah. No, it was so funny. One time I was sending one of my friends like a little voice memo, and I was saying all this stuff. I think it was Lainey actually. And like she was like, amen, or whatever, because I sounded like a motivational speaker. Because I
Like
feel
a TED Talk.
yeah, because I feel like sometimes we need that, and what I love so much about like us all having each other in the acting community, and babe, you probably feel the same about your community that you're in. They probably feel the same way. Like you have the like-minded people who think like you, who are going for the same dreams as you, and you guys can support each other and uplift each other, and you're going to be there for each other at the end of the day, because you're all pursuing something you love. And it's nice to be part of a community, like for the acting community on TikTok, how we all met each other, where we all have those same goals and same ambitions, and we're like-minded individuals going for the same thing. Like babe, you and everybody that's doing D&D also in their community that you're in. So it's like, it's cool to be around people that are like you,
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I loved your answer, Matthew. It was perfect. This is a good one. Oh wait, I'm gonna go to a different one actually. I like skipping around.
Well, whatever you're gonna pick, make it good. It's probably the last question.
Have we been on for that long? See,
Yeah.
I told you.
Or are we coming up? Or are we coming up on the end here? So make it a good one.
Is there a specific one, Matthew, you wanted me to ask as the last one? Because I had one in mind, but let me
shoot.
see. Okay, I'm gonna ask this one. Okay, if you could be on one Marvel movie, what would it be and why?
Oh man.
Well, I think I have a better addition to that, because there's already so many Marvel characters out there. What Marvel character that's not been in a movie yet would you want to be, or a movie that you would want to be involved in with like a specific character or like group of Marvel characters that isn't out yet? Because there's so much shit in Marvel, they've barely they have barely scratched the surface of what there is possible with Marvel still.
Yes, and there's so much. And then I went to go see Ant-Man and Wasp last week, and
yeah, we did
so
too.
good.
It was so good.
Oh my God, I would say, I know they're not working on a project like this, but I would love to kind of like, if I'm still young, if I'm not old yet, I would love to be a part of like part of the heard they've been trying to make like a Young Avengers. Kind of like, I would love to be a part of like the little young squad.
I think they're slowly building to that. They have with Kate Bishop now, and the Hulk's son, and the girl from Ant-Man, and like those little younger sidekicks that have been popping up in the last few movies or so.
And I've noticed that a lot too.
And I think you could pull it off too, because like you have a younger looking face as well. So I feel like you could also pull that off.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I just hope I don't be about, because I don't want to turn 30 and they be like, oh, you can't play this role because your face has
Yeah.
changed. Because when you get older, your face starts
Yeah.
to change and stuff like that. So hopefully I'll be I'm still in my 20s, so that's still young. So
Hmm.
hopefully I'll be still get to play a role because I would love to be a part of like a young
Yeah.
squad and stuff like that, fighting fighting alongside them and
Right.
excuse me, being on
No,
set
you're
and stuff.
fine. And if you don't get to do that in your 30s and 40s, you can always play like the next Thor or like
Oh
something
man,
like
I never thought
that.
about that. Like the first African American Thor. That would be cool.
That would
I
be
like that.
really cool. That would be really cool. I
And I
want to
always
play. Oh, go ahead.
and I always I always like been like kind of like when I be in my head, I'd be like, what type of superhero do I want to be? Like, do I want to be a superhero with powers or without powers? Because I love Black Widow and like the heroes who don't have powers are like Black Widow, Hawkeye,
Yeah.
um, well, I guess you should say Captain America, even though he has the super serum and stuff. And then you have who else? Like yeah, Kate Bishop and all
Yeah.
Hmm.
them and stuff. And it's kind of like a 50-50. I don't know. Yeah. So it's kind of like I want to be a character who has superpowers sometimes, and then sometimes it would
Yeah.
change. I'd be like, I kind of want to be like a superhero who doesn't have any powers, be like a little top secret agent like Black Widow or Hawkeye or something like that.
That would be cool. Yeah, like I feel like playing Black Widow would be really fun. Like if they ever made like a new Black Widow movie, I would love to play Black Widow in that movie. Like, but it's like I can't top Scarlett Johansson. It's just like they're the
Right.
classics. It's like you watch them. It's like Chris Hemsworth. I can't picture like another Thor in my mind right now, unless it's you, and then that's
Yeah.
fine. But like, because like Chris Hemsworth, he just kills the role. It's like
Yes.
it's those movies are just made so well, and I love your answer to that because I think like there's also, like you said, babe, so many Marvel things, because I don't know much about the comics, like I've never read Marvel comics, but babe, you know more about like the different superheroes they haven't shown, but there's so many they still have to make movies
There's so
of,
many
and
versions,
it's
and there's
like,
so many versions of those characters too. It's not just like
yeah,
there's different
Yeah.
characters. There's a million variants of those characters, which they're just starting to get into with the whole multiverse saga now.
yeah,
So
Oh my God. When they talk about the variants, when well, wait, you guys went to see Ant-Man, right?
yeah,
Because I don't want to
yeah,
spoil.
yeah, we
yeah,
saw Ant
Okay,
Man.
yeah. So like when it came, and whoever's watching this, cover your ears or click off because I'm finna
yeah,
spoil
yeah.
a little bit crap out of it. Because I love how
Spoiler alert.
When Kang starts talking about like the multiverse and how his variants kind of like banished him there, I was like, oh my God. And then you guys seen Loki, right?
Yeah, we've seen
Yeah, oh
Loki.
yeah, I love
Like
Loki.
like what has like what has like the timeline out of whack because
Hmm.
Sylvia from Loki, killed He Who Remains. Because I feel like killing
Yeah,
him was kind of like killing the whole source. And then like I just started to notice like when he died, the whole timeline started to like expand. I'm like, oh no, like everything's about to start like some bull crap
yeah.
about to start happening. Like, oh crap, like I'm like Captain America, Avengers, y'all need to get ready because Kang is he's getting really like
Yeah,
it's about
from
to get
what
real
from what from what
nasty.
I've been hearing, it's probably going to
Yes.
be three different versions of Kane versus three different teams of heroes. Probably like a
Yeah.
the base Avengers
That'll be
with
interesting.
Anthony Mackie and crew on Earth, and then there'll be the Magic people with Doctor Strange and them, and like the cosmic stuff, and then like the
Oh
space
wow.
people with probably not the Guardians themselves, but like they're adding Adam Warlock now. They're starting to expand the
Mhm.
space
Oh
heroes out
yeah.
there. So like obviously Captain Marvel would be part of
Well,
that probably in the Marvels, but like
yeah.
there's gonna be so many heroes. They're probably just gonna split the difference and have them all fight a different Kane.
Well, and
Yeah.
I think like the reason they showed that, because Matthew, you stayed and saw, I'm sure you saw both end credit scenes too. So
Yeah.
like the reason they showed that with the Loki thing, I think it's because when Loki season 2 comes out, they're probably gonna pick it up from there. That was probably
Yeah.
like a spoiler for that. And I
Mhm.
love the Loki show. Like I am so
Yes.
excited for season 2. I love like all the Disney Plus shows, like that are
Me
the
too.
yeah. So and he like what is his name? Thomas Hiddleston, right? He plays Loki so
Mhm.
good. Like amazing Loki. But it's like it's exciting because the guy that plays Kane is a really good actor too,
Yeah,
and I'm excited
Jonathan
to see where they
Majors,
go with
He's
that.
he's awesome. Jonathan
so
Majors.
good.
He's awesome.
Yeah, and I love that whole movie. Like, I didn't understand, guys. Still spoiler out there if you're watching, but I didn't understand why people like thought it moved slow, because it moved so fast to me, Ant-Man. Like, it was so good. Like the whole thing was good. But that's just another thing. People just love to hate on something. They just want to hate.
Exactly. Like the movie was so good. Like how can you hate on a movie? And then like every time me and my dad goes to see a Marvel movie and we see the critiques and stuff like that talking about it, and I'm like, what type of critique school did you go to? So
Right.
like, what does the movie have to
Right.
have you like, oh, this movie good, it deserves an Oscar and stuff like that? Like, what does it
Exactly.
have to have?
People just get so picky, dude, about everything. Like people want to complain about all of that because I'm like, the movie was phenomenal. I thought it was like one of the best movies. I love Paul Rudd. I think Paul Rudd,
Oh, he's hilarious.
he looks so young. He looks like he's 30. He's like he's freaking 50s. Like what the
Everybody's
heck?
still talking about that. Like, I'm like, it's like you see the other actors, like they're getting a little older, but you look at
Yeah.
him, he ain't aged a bit. I'm like, what type of? I'm like, is he drinking some type of mystical potion
Serum.
Who
that's keeping
knows?
him young?
Who knows?
Right. He's like 55. I'm like, you look like you're like a young man. What the heck?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is. It's so crazy. But I love him as an actor. He did so good. And I can't wait for the new Guardians. I would love to be in a Guardians movie someday. Like if it's
I'm
a
gonna
new
cry.
Well, that whole
I'm
team's
not gonna lie.
that whole team's about to be rotating now. Like Guardians ain't
I'm
a
gonna
set team
cry.
either. Like how the Avengers are gonna
Yeah.
be new people. Just get ready for that. They're gonna be starting exiting too, so it's gonna be
I'm
tough.
gonna cry. I'm definitely gonna cry about that.
Like I already
'cause-
like they already know for sure Batista's leaving. He's done after this movie. So
Oh yeah.
be
that's so
prepared for the
sad.
possibility of a bad ending for Drats.
Oh, I hope
Unfortunately.
you're gonna make
No.
me cry. Listen, you're gonna make me cry. I bawled my eyes out when Iron Man died. Okay.
I
and
mean,
Black
everybody
Widow.
did.
I can't see Batista die too, or not Batista, but Drax die. And if I saw Star Lord die, I don't even know what I would
I
do.
don't know. We'll
So
see.
that just can't happen, Matthew.
We will see. But I think with that, we should get ready to wrap up here. So, Matthew, if you have anything that you want to plug or shout out or any socials you want to throw out there, go ahead and
Yeah,
do
upcoming
so.
projects, stuff with SceneBot, all that stuff. Go ahead, Matt.
She said that you just gonna throw it out there like, yeah, see. Really, yeah, kind of like I'm really working on, my scene bot, and I just printed out my next script for my next scene bot for next month. And I'm gonna kind of say this has been a project I've been wanting to do for a while now. And I've been wanting to kind of like start my own podcast for a minute now. And I just
Mhm.
been it's kind of like in the back of my head. It stays in the back of my head because I told my grandma about this. I've been wanting to start a podcast, and then sometimes it will be brought up in conversations a little bit, and it'll just be back in my head, and I'll be thinking about it sometimes, and yeah. And also my social medias are Instagram and TikTok, mostly on there. Jenny, you and me be on Instagram a lot. So yeah, my Instagram is Matt Bryan Official, and my TikTok is Matt Bryan Official. It's the same thing as my TikTok. So you shouldn't, and it's all lowercase, so it should be easy. So just put in MATT and it should pop up very, very quickly.
Yeah, and I wanted
So
to
yeah.
say, like, I'm so proud of you I didn't know you wanted to create a podcast. Like, I'm so proud of you for that because that's something that, like, for a while too was in the back of my mind. Like, and we had that idea and then we went with it and we're so happy we did. So you just got to go in, Matthew, and just do it because you're going to kill it. Like, just do it. Nike,
Yeah.
just do it. Like,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
do
just
it.
do it.
Exactly. So, and Matthew's doing amazing on SceneBot. I just had to tell you guys that. So definitely go vote for Matthew on SceneBot as well when he makes it to the top because he will.
I mean, I am. Oh my God! Just really quick before we go, like I worked my butt off to get in that A-list spot, and
That's
finally,
amazing.
and then and it was funny about it, is like I told myself that what if I ended 2022 off becoming an A-lister, and boom, it happened. I'm like, oh man, because I got the email and the
Mhm.
little message from SceneBot saying, congratulations, Matthew, you made the A-list. I'm like, finally, because
You're like, yay.
I've been doing SceneBot for so long, for really been months. Kind of usually
Yeah.
I've been doing it for like a year and a half, maybe. And
Yeah.
it's been exhausting. It'll be a day, or it'll be probably a day where I just like I don't want to do it. But then there goes that invisible donkey again, like get your ass up and do it. Because if you want to
Mhm.
do this, you do it. Go ahead and do it.
Yeah, and I think like I know we don't have any time for any more questions, babe, but I just wanted to say like this is just a little quick thing. And what you were just saying, Matthew, like people don't realize too like how much it takes to making content and how long it takes for us to do that. Like
Yeah.
scenes, like acting skits. People don't realize how long that takes. They think they see it on the screen that like, oh, this took them 5 minutes to do. That's no, it takes
Right.
tons of takes, tons of things. So it's like
Yes.
a
Oh
lot of work.
God. I
And
wish people understand that a lot more
and I've had the
about
same thing
social
as
media.
you. Like, I'm like, I don't want to do this today. But then it's like that donkey. I'm gonna start using that expression. That donkey kicks you in the
Yeah,
rear, and
that
it's like,
donkey kick.
like do it. But no, to make the A-list dude is incredible because there's actually like big casting and directors on there that will see your stuff, and you never know. Like they may see something and be like, "Hey, we need this guy for like the next big movie." You know what I mean? Like because they see your
Yeah.
acting. So
And I
I'm
have
proud
been
of you.
and I have been still working on getting an agent. I haven't heard back from the agency that I was been working on for a while now. It's been I think it's been probably like maybe 6 or 7 days. They haven't called
Yeah.
me back yet, but they did send me email saying we'll contact you and stuff like that. All right, when? But I
Yeah.
have been working. I have been working on calling another agency that is in LA. I just want to ask them a question. Do they take international submissions? And when I hear
Yeah.
back from them, I'll be like, okay, so I need to get to work on this. So you can say I've been working. Yeah, I'm working.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do, just keep auditioning for so many agencies cuz like it's the same as we know with auditions where it's going to be a lot of no's but that one yes is going to change
Right.
everything. So
Mhm.
okay, I'm done now. Sorry guys.
No, you're good. Both of us have a shit ton of stuff that we're also doing. So I'm just gonna say, follow the both of us on social medias for updates on
Yeah.
everything. I am Pluto Cleric on everything: Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, etc. And Jenny is Just Being Jen on everywhere. So you can follow her, primarily
her.
on her TikTok.
Follow Matthew and Pluto.
But with that,
Oh,
we
Daniel, that donkey's gonna kick me, but
but with that, we will talk to you guys later and see you next week. Have a good one.
Bye guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.
bye.